Hey everybody, welcome one and all. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Let's go ahead and make sure you all can hear me. You'd please type the number 1 in the comment section in that chat box. Let me know that you can. I would greatly appreciate it. Dankeschön. Let's go ahead and open that up. Where are you? There I am. There I am. We've got work being done at the house today. We've got contractors here, so it is a busy day at the Roy household for sure. Jim said, yes, having another fantastic day. There you go. There you go. Welcome. Hey, Jeff, here's my number 3. I've missed that. Let's see. We can't see. You should be able to see me now, Lee, right? There you go. All right, good. Morning, Helen. Morning, Kevin. Anybody else that I missed? John, good afternoon. Donald, good day. There you go, Brenda. I can see. All right. Welcome again. Keep in mind that everything we look at here today is for educational purposes. Nothing's meant to be advice or recommendation. Hope it's been a good trading day so far. It's been an interesting one, that is for sure. I had a couple go off, which I'll share with you. Amelia got a couple of trades off as well in there, which I will also share with you today. But let's go ahead and get through our beginning stuff here. So we've got Inner Circle coming up on the 16th. That is this Thursday. Ryan Litchfield is our special coach guest for our Inner Circle team. The 22nd is Monster Market Movers. Trading You is on the 27th. So let me see something here. We don't have it, I believe. Let's see. Somewhere I thought we had. All right, so we have a mastermind group mastering the trade coming up. I'm not seeing it on here. I thought it was scheduled for next week. I will check into that and let you guys know, but I mentioned over the weekend. I saw it on my calendar. I thought it was here as well, but I could be wrong. Inner Circle, Mastermind, Vega, Mini, cover call. We got way too many things on our calendar now. Way too many things. Flying objects. What flying objects? Brenda, what are you talking about? I know there are psychedelics out there that'll cause flying objects, but I'm not really sure what we're discussing here right now. Okay. So Mastermind group coming up on Tuesday night, of course. Power Hour. We will hold our training on the 21st, not the 20th. This training, guys, is going to be done this way. The last one we did, we had a very small attendance. If we get a good attendance at this one, we'll continue to push them to Tuesdays, or if not, we'll just cancel them on Tuesdays. Monday's a good day. I guess Tuesday may be an issue, people just aren't familiar with it. But we've got Trading Coaches Playbook on Friday, this Friday, right? And then Crushing with Volatility, 2 more opportunities to get to watch Sean Reed, different Sean, teach that, where he's going to show you ways. Pick something up the very first time I watched him teach, where he talked about how he showed Theta and Vega and the differences in there. I was blown away by it. So really never looked at it that way. So great coach. Pop, Covered Call Explorer, E-Mini Think Tank are on the regular schedule, except the 20th, we're closed. The 20th is a holiday, so there will be no training there at all on that day. You may still see some text messages come through, but we will not have anybody in the office. Right? Make sure you follow along with us to keep up with all of our content that we put out there every day, week, and month. Here's our manifesto. I'm not going to read it, folks, but I'm going to leave it up there for a second. I do believe that everybody needs a reason for what they do. Yes, you have your reason that you want to do what you do, your trading. You have a reason for that as the why, right? This is a way of belonging. This is what we strive to help you become, right? The Trading Boss Manifesto is to help point you in a direction, put you on a path to help get you from where you are to where you want to be. That's bottom line what we use this for, right? This will be on the website shortly. You'll see it at the very bottom of the site. It'll list up there. Crushing with Volatility, this is the class that Sean has teaching. You can see his pretty picture there or not. We just never seem to get one up there for him. But Sean is teaching this class. He's got 2 of them this week, and then he's done for a little bit. So take advantage of that. Don't want to show that yet. Okay, let me catch the. Let me catch this. Yeah, markets are closed on. Oh, I see it. Never mind. I got it, Brendan. Flying objects. Got it. Yeah, apparently this is a regular thing. It happens all the time. We just never shoot them down. Right? Go figure. 4 shot down by the Pentagon over a week. Yeah, I heard like 3 this weekend. Karen said Ryan had a good perspective on terminology we use to trade. Empower us on Friday. Okay, do you so guys, I think what Karen is saying is go back and watch the recording. It's on YouTube. Go back and watch the recording of Ryan last week in the Trading Coaches Playbook to pick that up. Let's see. Lee dropped in that crushing with volatility. Stop using win-loss. Okay, use profit cost. There you go, Karen. Stop using win-loss and use profit cost. Yeah, it's cost of doing business. Exactly. Okay, Roman, I see it. It's going to be a little bit, but I definitely will. Pauline, are you in here with me? Today you are. Can you put a note down to reach out to Roman to set up some time to talk with him? I appreciate that. Just let me see a message in there, Pauline, that you got it, or Lee. If she's not getting it, just, okay, Pauline got it. Great. I appreciate it. Excellent, excellent, excellent. All right. So what trades did you guys do? Drop them in. I want to see the trades that you've done. I should have asked this already in the last 2 minutes while we're talking. What trades did you do? Put them in there. Have you guys had any crushing trades in the last little bit? I mean, we destroyed it on NQ not long ago with Jay Powell talking, right? That was a great day. And I only got 1 leg of it, not 3. Man, had I just been focused on it, it was a great day to kill it in the market without a doubt. Let's see. Nice. Jeff said $225 on the ES. There you go, Jeff. No trades for Brenda. John said Wheel of Fortune. Is you ready? SPY, GameStop, Beyond Meat, Naked Puts, CCL, Google, and Shopify, right? Cash flow over $2,000. That is today. Today. Great job, John. I love seeing you knock it out of the park like that over and over and over again. Brenda said, I've gotten crushed. Okay, we need to talk about that then, Brenda. Roman said, NVIDIA from the 8 moving average to the fib line, in and out. Nice, Roman. Good job there. Jim said, in an SPXW, the weekly trade now up 65% so far. Ka-ching, baby, ka-ching. Donald said $225 on the SPY. Today, paper, long call. Great job. So remember this. Funded, non-funded, and that's really go back to Ryan terminology, right? Funded, non-funded. You know, don't use paper. Don't use a practice trade. Use the word funded and non-funded. They're all real trades. Nothing is practice. Nothing is paper. It's a real trade. You're just using different colored money. That's all it is. Mentally, you have to treat it the same way. That is what will make the biggest difference when you go from paper trading to real trading. People notice there's a difference. You're doing great on paper and you're getting your tail kicked with real money. Stop doing it on paper. Doing it as a non-funded trade. It's a real trade. We're just not using real money in it. It's a non-funded trade versus a funded trade. It definitely helps the perspective, the mindset a little bit to elevate you to a little bit to that next level. Doesn't mean it becomes easy. Oh, I changed my words and I now start winning. No. It doesn't work that way, right? Just a little bit different than that, but it puts you in a different mindset for it, right? Right off the bat. Okay, so let's see, any others came through? Nope, that was the last one. Okay, so here's Amelia's trade. She did a debit spread today. This was, and it was a vertical spread. This was done on Mr. Softy, Microsoft. She did 3 contracts. She ended the trade at 9:41 this morning. Buy to open, sell to open. She had a debit of 89 cents. So she laid 89 cents out of her pocket to enter into this trade. Debit, she had to pay money. Hence credit, you would get paid to trade, right? She got out of this trade then at 10:04. So she's in the trade for 23 minutes. $1.40 was her exit price. If she got 90 cents or paid 90 cents the first time, she made 51 cents on this trade. in 23 minutes, a 57% rate of return. Really nice, smoking, absolutely smoking on that trade, right? And then the next one she did was a vertical spread. This was a another debit spread, right? She took in a she get debit, so another debit spread. She paid on this on Goldman, by the way, and I missed out on a Goldman trade today. I didn't catch it, but she did 3 contracts at Goldman Sachs. She got a debit of 95 cents. She paid out of pocket 95 cents. And that was at 10:03. At 10:09, just 6 whole minutes later, she got a credit of $1.55. If you take that away from what she spent, the 95 cents, you're looking at 60 cents of profit on that one for a rate of return of about 63% in 6 minutes. Great job, Amelia. Wonderful job. Wonderful job. Right? You guys need to give some kudos to Amelia. She crushes it on a regular basis, guys. I am just blown away by her all the time. All the time. All right. Yep. Awesome. There you go. Awesome, Amelia. Yeah, she does a great job. She really does. There you go, Jim. Thanks for that. Great job, Amelia. We'll make sure to pass it all along. All right. There you go. Excellent. Excellent. All right. Let's go look at some of the ones that I did today. So let's go look at the depot. The Home Depot. Depot of Homes. Right? So we had a moving average right in the middle. There's our target. There's our exit. There we're out, right? We came and we closed up below, just barely, but we closed up below the 316.91 fib level. Right? We gapped up, pulled back, and bounced. We're looking for Home Depot 316.91. Did we get the bounce the way we want? Right? So let's go look at Home Depot. Here's the 316.91 level down here. So what in the world happened? Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego, right? So we had a small gap up and a fail. We broke above, we pulled back, we got to a low of 317.04. So we're talking about 9 and 4, 13 cents. Within 13 cents of that fib line, we bounced. We're in, trade taken there. Trade exited. Remember, we had resistance at our moving averages. So we're looking at 321.5. So at about 321, 320.5, somewhere around there, we're out of that trade. So guys, great setup on Home Depot. Earnings coming up, I don't care. Options were a little more expensive, but nothing that I'm really too concerned with. Right? Next on the docket was Meta, META. Right? So let's get a bigger picture view of Meta. Kudos to Zuckerberg. He's done a great job with recovery for for Meta, Facebook. And look what happened. We closed just below the 8 moving average, which was a confluence of the fib line, which was a 1 ranked on our power option plays trade set up yesterday. So 177.27 was where we're looking for the bounce. So let's go look on Meta. Now, I didn't get the full move I was looking for, but guys, we gapped up. We closed right at 177.27. Actually, let's be accurate. That candle closed at 177.34, 7 cents higher than the fib line. We opened up on the next candle at 177.36, 6 and 3, 9 cents higher than that fib line. We stretched down and we bounced. Now, if you missed it there, you might have had another opportunity here between that 10:05 candle or so, and even one more time right here, 10:15 to 10:20. It hasn't produced a lot of profit on the setup, right? I'm watching the moving averages are starting to pinch together, so I'm watching for the break of the 21. But that one was okay. That one's okay, right? Nothing killing it. That was a good setup, but it was okay. Right? Next, for me, was SPY. Oh, there we go. Okay. Oh. So SPY, we opened up around the midpoint, actually about around R1, we opened up. We moved up, it was really tight. R1 is about 408.5, R2 was 409.25, so it's only 3/4 of a point. Wasn't there for me, wasn't for that's not my setup. We closed up here on the next candle, right? We retested and bounced on this candle, that doji candle, and we were in and out of that trade. It was about a dollar move. This time it was R2 is roughly 409.25 up to 410.5. So, you know, you got a decent move in there, nothing great, decent move in there. You know, a buck movement on the stock was about 40 cents, 45 cents to the option. So overall, it was okay. Decent move, right? Nothing crazy, decent move. I was watching a bunch of others today. They have not come to fruition yet, and that's okay. I'm fine with that. The S&P 500. Now, here's where, let me actually change this over here. Let's move to a different watch list. So the S&P 500, here is where the video that I do, and I record it on a Friday afternoon, we get it published and we send it out to you on Sunday in our newsletter, right? How many of you have had an opportunity to look at the newsletter on Sunday? It's a web link. It says your Traders Market Intelligence Report is ready, right? So let me know how many of you have had a chance to look at that and then give me some feedback on your thoughts. Now, there's a lot more coming to it. That was phase one, the way that we put it together. Phase two, you're going to be able to click on all the links in there. It'll take you right to the trainings and so forth, right? Like it. I love it. I like it. I love it. 2 in a row. Linda said, I like it. Kevin said, I love it. Awesome stuff. Very helpful. Looked at the newsletter on Sunday. Excellent. Good. Guys, if you have not, yeah, there you go, Lee. I appreciate it. If you have not seen it, right, there's the link that Lee dropped in. You can go look at last week's. But what you want to do is make sure that you are checking out everything that we do here, guys. But if you register basically for anything, if you're in our ecosystem, you're getting, unless you told us not to email you anything, you're getting all of the emails every Sunday. You'll get an email that says, hey, the market intelligence report is ready. If you just go and look at that link that Lee sent in there on Friday afternoon, give it till 5 p.m. Eastern, right? Because I don't record it until after the market closes. It takes Sean a little while to update the page. We don't change the page, we just change the video. That's all we're doing. It's changing out the video, right? So if you go there and check it out, guys, and I went in depth into what I saw on the S&P 500. I look at the VIX, I look at the S&P 500, and just give some insight to what's going on there. And I talked about getting above this 236, above that 8 moving average. Guys, we're there. That was our next level. But you need to be cautious here. This is not a, oh, it's time to go long. And you do as you do, and that's okay. We are still setting up with lower highs. We don't have a higher high yet. We're not there. We did have higher lows setting up in here. That's good. And this may be a continuation, but we've got to get back above that 4181 level. The 4181 level is a Fibonacci level. Let me actually grab a document here. Guys, get your screen capture software ready, or your phone ready, whatever you want to call, look at there. Where is this going to open up? Pop, let's see. Okay. Yeah, we don't want that page. There we go. Fib levels. Got it. I just shared this last week on another, I was interviewing on Benzinga again last week, and I shared it there. So guys, what you're looking at on the far left side, these are, in column A as an example, these are fib levels. And in column B is the midpoint between those two fib levels. All right. So you've got 5 as a fib level, 8 as a fib level, 6.5 as a midpoint. 8 and 13, 10.5. 13 and 21, 17, 21 and 34, 27.5, and so forth. You got the idea. 4181 is a Fibonacci level. And if you look down here, it takes the fib number series. I just started this one with 3. It starts with 0 and 1, really. 0 plus 1 is 1, 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 plus 3 is 5, 3 plus 5 is 8, 8 plus 5 is 13, 13 and 8 is 21, and so on, and 21, and you get it, 34, 55. And that's where the Fibonacci number series comes into play. And that's where that 4181 is. So this is a critical level that you must, not should, must be focused on. You have to know that that level is there. We ran right into it. This was on the 2nd. We closed that day at 41.79. Excuse me, 41.79.76. 41.81 is the level. We closed about $1.25, $1.24 off of that level. The following day, we had a high of 41.82. 2 days later, we had a high of 40.88, and we're right in the ballpark there. And then from there, we just had continued with those lower highs setting up in there. We'll see what the bounce is all about now. We're up above that fib level now, the 236. We're up above the 8 moving average. Both of them are critical. Now, does that mean take the breakout here? That means we're above the 8 and the fib line. If you're a breakout trader, then you have to trade that rule. If you're a retest trader, you're waiting for the pullback and a bounce. That's what has to happen in there. The pullback and the bounce is what takes place. That's what I am looking for. Does that mean that you won't get a breakout and it's going to run from here? No, you trade the market at hand. Just make sure you have a set of rules that you're going to follow, adhere to for taking that trade. Don't just jump in and take a trade because, well, it's higher now, so I'm going to take the trade. You need to have a rule that fits your risk profile. And then if you're wrong, you didn't do anything off, you did what you were supposed to, but you follow those rules. If you're all over the place and you're trying to be a breakout trader and a retest trader and this and that, you know, you're using stochastics, MACD, RSI, using all 3 different oscillators, and let's throw CCI in there for good measure. That's a 4th one, and you're trying to be successful with it, it becomes very hard, right? You've got to have a system that works and works for you, okay? So my suggestion is you pay close attention to that 41.81. Right now, we've got room to go on the upside. If we get a continuation move, I'll play the continuation move. Right now, we're in a bullish bias true bull on the market. If I look at a stock, let's say Amazon. Amazon's in a muck. It looks very ugly, right? It doesn't matter the S&P broke out. I'm not trading Amazon until we get somewhere. Get above the 8 moving average, which puts us in a true bullish bias. Get below the 55, which puts us in not a true, but in a bearish bias. Excuse me. I don't know if your nose is itchy or your palms are itchy. It means money. Hopefully it's your nose. So, you know, if we look at another one, Apple. Apple took a nice bounce today, but where was it? In the middle of God's country. Nowhere, right? It bounced off the 8. Could you have taken a trade off it? Yes, it just doesn't fit my risk profile. So I passed on that trade. Brenda, I know. Let's just say it's the nose, okay? Let's just say it's the nose instead of the palms. Okay, good. My mom is half Italian. Yeah, the good half is Italian, right? That's what my mother-in-law told me when I said I was half Italian. Right? The good half is Italian. The other half was French-Canadian, right? So you've got to find the pattern and the system that's in the right place. But when we're looking at SPX, come on, $, SPX. We're looking at SPX. Let's go back and look at a much larger picture of the markets, right? I just want you to see the overall down pattern. I know it's a busy chart, guys. That's because I am in this day in and day out, making adjustments where need be. We got that breakout, right? Great continuation, pushing up into that 41.81. We're nowhere near the all-time highs, right? That was maybe too far back. That was up here, right? That little horizontal line is what the all-time high is right there, okay? So we're nowhere near that. We've got a lot of room to run on that. Are we there yet? Well, I don't know. What's happening this week, right? You got CPI, you got PPI this week. Both of those are potential triggers for the market to go up and or down. And we may see it wait. We may see it wait until PPI comes out. I was just looking for charts there. So CPI is mañana, tomorrow at 8:30. PPI is on Thursday, also at 8:30, right? And then we got some retail sales on Wednesday, which is also a big report. I have mine set up right now to take out anything yellow, anything gray, and all I have is US in there, right? The way that I have it for right now. But we definitely have some reports that are coming out that could have some effect. And that was the talk very early this morning, was we're still uncertain because of the Fed. We got to see what's going to happen with these numbers. Is it going to push in that direction? and so forth, right? It is an interesting place to be right now for us in the market, right? If you jumped in back here and you called the very bottom, God bless you, baby. I don't know how you did it, but I don't know. I could never have said that was the bottom right there of the market. Okay. It's as good a place as any, and sooner or later you'll be right. Throw enough darts at a board, and sooner or later you're going to hit a bullseye, right? Even if you throw with your left hand and your eyes closed, sooner or later you'll hit it. What do they say? If you gave a monkey a typewriter and an infinite amount of time, he would type out War and Peace. Right? And with enough time and attempts, you're going to get it, right? It's going to work. You're going to call a bottom in there. But technically, there was no compelling reason yet for that bottom, right? Pullback wise was good. I talked about this the other day on one of the trainings that I did. Again, it was in Benzinger, I believe, on what the pullback percentage was for what's gone on in there and so forth, right? So I am looking now. I'll take bullish trades because we're in a bullish bias right now. I'm looking up to the 41.81. There's a little bit of hesitancy at that point. Once we get beyond that, the 41.81, and we get beyond the zero line, there's a lot of room, a whole lot of room for us to move up above, right? Before getting anywhere near an all-time high. All right, let's see what we've got here. Jim said it was good. I like to recap and see where your fibs are and your analysis. Good. Jim's referring to the newsletter. Karen says how I signed up for class tonight. Excellent. Good. Jim said I have the parabolic indicator on the chart of the SPX. It's still showing the bearish today for the past 4 days. I agree with closing above the 41.81 before going long. So, and that's kind of what I'm thinking, Jim, is can I trade up to the 41.81? Absolutely. But it's not just the SPX. The SPX, that's a ceiling, right? We're hitting on the top. That's a ceiling that we're looking at for the S&P 500. Now, it doesn't mean we never break through it. We've attempted twice, 3 times in the last 2 weeks we tried to break through. And we pierced through it once. So we kind of chipped away, right? We broke it away a little bit, opening the path up for the breakout. Does that mean it's going to push higher? Guys, it really comes down to the recent swing highs. I mean, we've got a recent swing high up here. I mean, you can look at this as a high, but it wasn't a swing high. That was a swing high. Swing high said we had a low. We had a higher, we had this low, we had a higher low, which it's really not a higher low, but this was higher low, right? But you look at these 3 candles, that's as close as you're going to get to a swing high, which was right in here. This is not a swing high. It didn't get higher. So that's the candle we're looking at. We did have the pullback here, the bounce, right? So we're looking at that 41.81 as our trigger zone right now for where we need to see the market get to. Once it gets there, then I'll go and look at, I don't know, MasterCard. Whoever it is, it doesn't make a difference. It wouldn't be MasterCard, NVIDIA. And NVIDIA was great, except it was in the middle of nowhere today, right? Now, if we close where we are now, we're closing above a fib line. Move up a little bit higher, retest and bounce. It's a number 2 on our risk profile for my ranking. So yes, I'm very interested in that trade as a potential entry tomorrow, right? But I've got my rules set up based on what I'm seeing on the S&P 500, right? And know your VIX. Know your VIX. We've moved higher in our VIX levels over the last 2 weeks, right? We had moved higher on there. We stretched down a little bit into that yellow zone. We stretched down a little bit into that yellow zone, pulled right back out above, and we're sitting right now at 2064. So we're still in a, at the next Mastering the Trade, we're going to talk about this, but I'm actually looking at making an adjustment to rank for VIX, and we'll go over it in the next Mastering the Trade, where we talk about the how. And Mastering the Trade, for those of you that don't know, is anybody that is in power option plays, you're automatically registered for that training. We do it live every 4 to 6 weeks or so, and where we go over your questions, right? Which is in a live environment where I can answer them while we're there, and I do a little bit of teaching as well. This is something that I want to look at, changing the ranking just on VIX. I want to analyze it potentially a different way. All right, but right now We're right about the bottom third of the quadrant for VIX. So overall, life is good. Nothing to really worry about here. So as long as we continue to do what we do, I'm very interested in what's going on with the market as far as bullishness goes. We look at futures from last night, right? You could see we were down. We gapped up. I was like, ha, yeah, right. And then we rolled into that bottom right about that European market a little bit earlier. We started to recover and we had pulled back. Before I did the market mornings, we were pulling down. And we had a nice bounce right as the market opened, and we have not stopped ever since. Now, is the bounce real, or is it live or Memorex, right? Or is that bounce traders just wanting it to be? I don't know. Personally, I don't care. I'm looking at this as where's my trading opportunity? If the setup is there, if we broke out, retested and bounced, hot dang, that's it. That's all I need. There's my signal, there's the entry. If I'm wrong and it goes against me, that's okay. It's part of doing business. But you lost money. No, I didn't. I didn't go to lunch today. Actually, I haven't gone to lunch yet. But I wouldn't go to lunch today and say, oh, I can't believe it. I had lunch and I lost $9. And yes, I'd be very happy if I can get away with $9 for lunch. I lost $9 on lunch. No, it was a cost. It's a cost of doing business. And that's the way you have to look at it, is right there. All right. So, all right. Trading in uncertain times, guys, topic of the day. We've already kind of hit on a bunch of the points. Know what's going on in economic reports. That's important. Know what's going on with fear, the VIX. Know what's going on with the S&P, and have a series of rules to trade with. What I can tell you is the most important time to have very strong rules in trading is when the market is uncertain, which we are right now. Oh, but Rob, we're in a bullish market, but we're not. We're in a bullish pattern. But this is not it. No one should be stepping out there and saying the market is bullish right now. There's a bullish pattern going on. And excuse me, we broke in the overall bearish pattern, right? That bigger downtrend bear, we've broken that. But that 4181 is a critical level for us. We've got to get above that level, right? And then ultimately you need to get above in this downward pattern, right? When we got above this low here, this swing high here, right? So we violated above that, but look, let me actually bring it in and make it a little bit closer for us, right? So we got into here. That's where we ran. Well, that's where we bounced today. Right off of, look at those, those tops in there, or top, right there on that bounce up and that pullback. And then I guess you had, well, this is a little bit higher here though. And that takes us right to the current fib line that we're bouncing off of today, right? You see how all of this ties together? Jennifer said exactly. We've had overall bearish pattern for a long time. Not sure bulls will continue. Jennifer, I agree. Here's the way I look at it. If they continue, awesome. I will continue to trade in a bullish fashion. If they don't, and we start to go neutral and or bearish, I will trade in that fashion. But I will make adjustments to my trading style. Excuse me. I will make adjustments to my trading style based on what the market is doing and what the market is giving me. I'll take advantage of whatever the market wants to give me once I learn what's going on out there, right? And I will trade that way. But you're spot on, Jennifer. I don't yet see a, 2 thumbs up. It's time to go to the upside. I don't see it yet. Are there signs of bullishness? Yes, there are. Trade the market at hand, Jennifer. My favorite phrase. Yes, trade the market at hand. Don't do anything else. Just trade the market at hand. All right, let me close that down. All right. So what candidates do you guys want to look at today? Drop them in. Oh, we got a much better attendance this week. Good. Hey, Ed, how you doing, my friend? What else we got here? Bill, glad you made it. See, the list is long, guys. I'm probably not going to catch everybody. I'm just kind of getting through real quick. Rick, good. Welcome. Robert, how you doing? Let's see. All right, excellent. So drop them in. What symbols do you want me to look at? Jim said from around June of 22 till today on a daily SPX, is that a possible inverted head and shoulders? So let's go take a quick look at that. I'm going to go over, Jim, to another template without moving averages on it, right? And let's see, you said June of 22, from around June of 22. Okay. So let's take a look, see. So we had this move up, this move up, this move up. You know, you really want the head, if that's what you're looking at, Jim, you really want the head higher. No one really walks around like this, right? You really want that head higher. I'm okay if my shoulders are not the same height. I actually prefer it. You've got a head and shoulders that can look like this, right? Where they're equal or similar, right? You have one that looks like this. And then you have where they're lower. There, the right one is lower. And then you have one that looks like this, where they're higher, right? There's three different ways of looking at it. I like the first one, right? My favorite one is the second one. This one, not so much, right? For trading the pattern itself. Oh, you did say upside down head and shoulders, didn't you? You said inverted, my bad. Okay. So let's try that again. So I was just checking to make sure y'all paying attention. That's what it was. So if from June, so when you're looking at this then, maybe. Maybe 1, 2, 3 could be just not a, it could be, Jim, it could be. Yeah, sorry about picking the wrong direction for you, but I didn't say that way, Rob. Oh, good. Okay, here we go. All right, let's go look at some symbols. Drop in the candidates you want me to take a look at. I got first two people, Karen and Kevin, both asked on Tesla. What's my thoughts on Tesla? Was what Kevin wrote. Karen put in the symbol. Let's go back to template number 2. Let's get rid of that there. My thoughts are, why did I not buy more when it was near 100? Because of course I knew that was the bottom. It wasn't going to 90. It wasn't going to 70. I knew that was the bottom, right? And I didn't buy it there. I got some more a little bit higher, right? But not by much. So, you know, from where the candles traded. So I did pick some more up and add to my position at that point. Did I pick up a big allotment? Nope. I picked up 20% of what I wanted in the position. That's it, right? So I am not fully vested in it yet. But what I like on Tesla is, look at this. From when we bounced, we went sideways for a couple of days. We gapped up, we pulled back a little, and we really had no pullback at all until today. Today was the first time we came back and actually retested that 8 moving average as a potential bounce. That right there is very, very, very important to me. Yes, we've got resistance right above our head with the 200 level, right? And then the blue zone, which is a health zone, right, of 202 and jingle. So we look at that as an area instead of just a singular line in there. But I like Tesla. I like it a lot. The problem is right now I don't have a lot of room up above before hitting my head. Let's see, 81 to, let's call it 01. That's 20 points. So we don't need a fibber in there. We're good to go. No fibber required. So ideally, you could short-term trade it up to about 200. Karen and Kevin, you can short-term trade up to about 200, which I am fine with, right? But then you've got some resistance, get above the 202, retest and bounce, and then you've got 211 as the next target. And we've been there before, recently. So it's not like we can't get there. We're there. All right, I hope that one helped. And then Karen was also asking for SPY. Fingers just don't want to work for me today. We've got a new fib on SPY. We drew it over the weekend on SPX as well. So good bottoming pattern, great top, good bounce. Look at that move. And we gapped up today, retested and bounced on SPY is magnifique, right? Beautiful setup. We were in a 1 on SPY, right? As far as how it closed and or opened. So great looking little setup there on SPY. If you're not already in, Karen, it's hard to take it, right? You need to pull back to the 8 and the bounce. If you're already in, I'd be trailing that thing on the way up. I mean, it's just, it's got a really nice, it has some really nice momentum to it. Just keep in mind that you're going to see some potential resistance around this high, which is 416.5, right? Just as an FYI. Yeah, Jim said we're back to the head and shoulders. The right shoulder is not as high as I would like it to be. Thank you for your analysis. You got it. You got it. So is this let's see. How are we doing that? Richard, is that gold that you're looking at there? The GC? Let me know. Trip is asking for AMD. Richard R had put in a GC J23. I think that's gold that you're asking for. So I can analyze gold. I wouldn't bother going to the individual contract. I would just do the continuous, which is how I normally analyze any future, is up the continuous contract. So AMD, yowzer. All right, earnings are out on them. So here's the first thing, Trip. I don't know. I'm assuming you've redrawn at this point. I need to. So let's get rid of the Devon. Let's get rid of the dreaded boxes of neutrality there. And let's go ahead and pull this back. One of the reasons for redrawing is you have a larger directional move closer to the right side of the chart. Here's our initial move. And there is this move, $37 to $47, all right? So let's go ahead and get a fib on there. Whoops, I missed. Let's do it again. Easier to just do it over and then try to fix it when it's buried inside of lines. Still can't get it right. Goodness gracious. Okay, there we go. All right. So let's see, 84.91, 6.7. All right, we don't need fibbits there, but we will need it up here. So Trip, I like the location it's at right now. It's kind of a, right now it's a 1. It would have been a 3 last night, but right now it's a 1. Potentially a 1 right now. So get above the 84.11 retest bounce. You got 91 as the next upside target. Oh, I like it a lot. Also, Trip's asking for IBM. If any of you are musically inclined, reach out to me. I want someone to write a song that says, if you like it, then you should have put a fib on it. If you like it, then you should have put a ring on it. All right, let's see. So we're in a bearish neutral bias right now on today's move. Earnings recently out. Dividend just came out. What did they pay? So $1.65. In line with what they've done in the past. Yeah, definitely a D-bond there, Trip. D-bond, dreaded box of neutrality, guys. So definitely a D-bond in there. The breakout was nice, Trip, but we don't have a lot of room to move. The 21 is right above there, and we're here. I mean, we're sitting right up against it now. I'm not worried about the 55 for resistance, but that 137 quarter, 137 half, getting above there, and then retest and bounce with the move up to 140 definitely has some possibilities. IBM just doesn't get the movement for me. for my risk profile. And then Micron. All right, let's see. Micron. What are we looking at here? Fib is fine. So we're sitting right now in a neutral bias. Yeah, neutral. We're in neutral bias right now. Closed below Friday of the 21, so we're in neutral bias. So we're not that far away from getting back to bull. Not that far away at all. So if we get that move back up there, Trip, that would be great, right? Back above the 8. But realistically, by the time we get to the 8, it's going to be up at 61.25-ish, right? Too close to take an entry with 61.93. So you're probably waiting for the breakout, retest, and bounce up there. All right. Hope that helped. Oh, yeah. I had my cardiologist appointment last week, Jim. It was the whole conversation. Outside of him saying, yeah, you look good. Your test came back fine. They threw all the probes all over me and, ran a little electric shock therapy, I guess, test, whatever it was. And yeah, fine. What do you think of Tesla? And he has him buying some more. So it's always an interesting conversation with him. Yeah, Brenda, sure. You want to see SPX? You got it. I'll give you dates. Fib started on December 22nd and ended on February 2nd. Right? Okay. So, yeah. So, Richard, I have gold. I just don't bother putting the continuous contract, the individual contracts up. I just do it from the continuous. It's just easier for me. All right. So we've not been in a very pleasing pattern on gold, right? And that's because the market's been taking off, right? I can only go so far back on TradeStation, but we violated, well, I can go further back. It just becomes messy. We violated that low, which was pretty important. And which is, well, I don't have the exact number, but I'm close, Richard. I'm pretty close. So my low there was 1863.50. I've got 1863.40. So that's the actual low that we had put in back there. And this was in February, right? And then if you look with what's going on right now, we just keep playing around with it. We broke it, came back up. We were pinned and wedged inside of descending wedge between the 8 moving average and the fib line. We got a quick pop up to the 21, big push down, lots of press on that fib line, horizontal support line. We broke back above, and now we've got another lower high, right? Tops are coming down, bottoms are holding in there, which gives us a descending triangle. So looking for the continuation push to the downside for it. And as long as the markets are going up, you're going to see this pullback on gold. All right. Perfect. I hope that helps. Let me know. Yeah, you're right on the length of the fib, Trip. It is about 8 months old there. So Les said, Micron looks to have both an inverted and a regular head and shoulders. And, the funny thing is, once you learn to look for them, you'll never not see them, right? They're everywhere. So I see this as very much a channeling pattern, right? It's just this big swooping channel that's in here. Right, this big monstrous pattern there, okay, on Micron. Good, Rich, I'm glad it helped. Yeah, I'm good, Jennifer. I keep saying to my doctor, so COVID, heart condition, and he's like, you don't have a heart condition, your heart's fine. He said, you're strong as an ox, don't worry about it, you're good. That's not going to affect you because of that. Rick's asking for Mr. Softy. We used to have students when we would do live events that they would have their phones or their recorders, their little audio recorders, and or even laptops, and they would have the song of Mr. Softy, the ice cream truck, ready to play when I said that. So, Rick, we're in a strong bullish move. Today was really, really strong. They've got dividend coming out. Is it tomorrow? 15th. So we're looking at 68 cents. 68, 62. So it's a higher dividend than not the last time, but the time before. Right? But it's a good, strong pattern. I'd love to see it pull back to the 263 level and bounce. If you may not get that, Rick, you may have to play it off the 270.62 level. Trip said, I hear the song in my head every time you say Mr. Softy. Yep, I know. Me too. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. You know, keep your eye on what's going on. Keep your eye on what's going on in the markets. And the markets are a varied thing, right? To me, the market is the S&P 500. But the NASDAQ in the last 10 years has proven that they are their own index and don't care as much about what the S&P does. They're going to go their own way, right? The Dow is very blue chip, stodgy. There's still some big, really good companies in there that you could trade. But I focus on SPX. And then when I'm looking at my NASDAQ stocks, I'm focused a little bit on the QQQ as well, or the NASDAQ itself, right? So great little bounce today on the Qs. My friend Aaron over at Benzinga is a huge Qs. Every time I bring up the SPY, he goes, why not the Qs? Every single time. It's almost like a comedian gig going back and forth between the two of us, right? So nice, strong press to the upside there. If we can get the pullback and the bounce, you've got clear movement up to the 408.70 level. Clear, real clear. Once again, you've got some lower highs in there, so you've got to keep that in mind. I'm not looking to carry this as an overnight trade. I'd be looking only to do this as a day trade, right? Fantastic. You are welcome there, Rick. Excellent. Any questions that I missed in here? Because there's a lot went through. There's probably 30 pages on my screen. I just can't catch it all. So if I did miss any, I apologize for it. It's not on purpose. I will gladly answer them. I don't really not answer questions. It's just not my style. Oh, but you shouldn't answer that question. No, I'm going to answer it. That's okay. The good thing is I march to my own beat now. I don't have to worry about somebody else. Jim said SPX or SPY. I understand where you drew the fib. Why on where you drew the zero fib line? Okay, so if we go to SPX, right? So we'd had these. Let me get a marker. It's easier. We had this nice V bottom in here. We had the stair step going up in here. We pulled back. We came up, and then we had that pullback in there in the bounce. It's not the greatest place to draw from, Jim, but it was the one that I had no choice other than taking it off of that bottom there because of that, right? It wasn't a clear V bottom, but it definitely gave us a nice opportunity coming off of a good, strong high. And then from there, we were kind of sideways-ish for the next 6 or 7 days, and a breakout finally took place. So I hope that helps a little bit with it, Jim. All right. So, guys, we have a training coming up, 2 of them this week, trading like crushing with volatility. You do not want to miss out on this, right? Go to tradinglikeaboss.com or Lee and or Pauline. They're going to drop in a link for you right now that you can click on it and go there. But you should bookmark this page. We've got other pages like this that we're building out. Pretty soon, you're going to have a whole host of websites that you're going to be able to visit for different things, including one we're working on right now about my personal life, right? So things that are more of what's going on in my life type stuff, right? Outside of business and markets and so forth, right? But for right now, crushing with volatility, go ahead and capture that. Trading Coaches Playbook, just register for it right now, as soon as you're done, right? Power Hour, they already may have the new links in for the Power Hour. We do them right after class is over, so you may already see the new ones in there. All right. And with that, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. You have a great rest of your day. God bless. And I will see all of you at our next update. We will leave the room open a few minutes. Grab the links that my team has dropped in there, and I will see you all at the next one. All right, bye for now.